Hi, I'm Luke.
I'm Phil. Yeah, so we just went down into town and just kind of walked around and stopped some people to pray for them. And we stopped these three girls, sort of like just teenagers, and just asked if they wanted some prayer. And we just said, like, do you want to feel the presence of God, like maybe for the first time in their lives? And as we like approached them, they said something. They thought that we were like drunk or stoned, didn't they? Because we were just intoxicated by the presence of God, and it was pretty amazing. And so we just said, like, would you like some prayer? And this one girl was like, oh no, I'm an atheist, no way. But her mate was like really up for it, and so she was like, yeah, what, you mean you feel, sometimes you feel like drunk in the presence of God, like drunk on his love, whatever. And we were like, yeah, we actually feel that now, and you can feel that as well, you can feel his presence right now. And she was like, yeah, I want to feel that. So we just prayed for her then and there, and it was just like the Holy Spirit just came down and just hit her, and she just started crying right then.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately, the friend that was next to her, who had obviously been more sceptical than the first girl, was like, wow, like if she got a touch, just pray for me. And she immediately closed her eyes and put her arms like this.
Yeah.
So we just started to pray for her as well, didn't we? And within a couple of minutes, all 5 people on the street, just stood in the main shopping street on a normal Saturday afternoon, were just giggling and enjoying Jesus, just kind of affecting our bodies in a really real way.
In fact, when the girl started crying, we all got hit by the power of the Holy Spirit. It's like, I doubled over, I got hit by the Holy Spirit. That's how I knew it was God that had hit her at that point. And Luke got hit as well, and their 2 friends just got, we didn't even pray for them, but it was like the Holy Spirit just came down like that, and the 2 girls as well got touched, and they just started roaring with laughter.
So
and so the girl who was cynical just said, oh, I've got some eczema, can you pray for my eczema?
So immediately, at this point, there's a lot of faith kind of in this little group, so I immediately just put my fingers on her arm, and the girl straight away, as soon as my fingers touched her arm, kind of recoiled backwards and was like, have you got acid on your fingers? She was genuinely scared that I had something on my fingers that would burn her arm. But it was just the presence of God kind of heating her arm up. I believe it was kind of a way that God was showing he was going to heal her arm. So we managed to convince her that we could pray for her, that we weren't con artists. And we put my finger on her arm again. She again felt the heat, just God's presence come on her arm. And every time I put my fingers on her arm and took them away, the eczema was literally shrinking at the point where my fingers touched her arm. This girl was not a Christian. She said openly that she was an atheist and that God was healing her arm. So as you can imagine, she was starting to get a little bit freaked out as the eczema just completely shriveled up and disappeared. The 3 girls were jumping around screaming, weren't they? Were going pretty crazy.
We were. And then it was like, it opened into this whole other level where it was just like word of knowledge just opened up, and we just I just started to see this thing for this girl, that in her house there was like conflict and division happening in her family between different family members, and then you started to get a more specific word of knowledge as well.
Immediately as Phil was sharing that, I just felt God say to me, ask her if she had a fight with her mum this morning. It was a really specific word, and so I said it like that. I said, did you have a fight with your mum this morning? And this girl ran across the street, like literally screaming, across the busy street, literally screaming, how did you know that? How did you know that? I think it was half joy and half just complete fear of
she was
that God
totally
was
freaked out. So because she was so freaked out, she ran across either side of the road and screamed, and it was just like she completely did not believe in God until the moment where God started to reveal specific details about her life, and it was just like she got this, it was like a power encounter right then, this kind of God is real. And
so then we just chatted to him. The girl came back across the street, and we chatted to him a little bit how Jesus was, how Jesus wanted to connect with them, how Jesus wanted to forgive them, how Jesus just wanted to meet with them, and we really didn't feel like we needed to do anything else, because we believe that God just calls us to be part of his journey, God calls us to be his servants, and we just totally trusted God that the next stage of their journey he was going to have covered. It says in the Bible, in John 5, and Jesus just explains to some people, he says, I tell you the truth, the Son can do nothing by himself. He does only what he sees the Father doing. And that day we just connected.